It's interesting. I've run my own companies for the last 20 years. And so I know the entrepreneurial mindset very well. And one of the things that you're never satisfied with the value you're providing. You are always looking to expand the value that you provide. It is a competitive advantage for the business. Whereas an employee mentality is what's enough, because that's really all that I want to do. It's not an expansion kind of a mentality. It's a what's enough to get the job done. That is not the way that you run a successful business. So when you say value, yeah, we hear the word value so much. It's so generic, but it's not. It's a never ending pursuit, is what I'm taking away from what I'm hearing what you're saying.
Absolutely. Can be very damaging for you if you are stuck with people that do what is enough and don't look at ways of how to maximize value for your customers. I think it's poison for a company. But to be honest with you, in my opinion, sometimes the fault is with the leaders and managers of those people that develop these kind of mindsets, because I think that we often incentivize maybe the wrong kind of things. So if you think about it, if you want to motivate people to really think about stuff that is abstract, like value and customer value, let's say you run a contact center and want to motivate a support engineer to think about the value you're providing to a customer, something that might realize in 1 or 2 years' time. It's really long-term stuff. Many times those people working in those contact centers or support organizations, they develop a fixation on small things, on closing that case as fast as possible, providing that response as fast as possible, because this is what managers historically placed emphasis on. So you run reports, you see how your team is doing, how fast they are responding to cases, how fast do they mitigate issues, and then you tell them they did good or they did not. I think that this leads to people looking for instant gratification, those kind of minor things, and they forget that what they actually should be pursuing is something more profound, something that might be a little bit more abstract, but is infinitely more valuable to your customer, which is providing sustainable value. And I think if you adjust a little bit the metrics and if you adjust a little bit your reporting and take a look at things like, do we have a lot of cases that get reopened? Or let's take a look at what kind of cases we have during the different life cycles of our customers during the customer journey and how those develop over time, and whether we can maybe bring down the average cases that a customer reports to us, so the average problems that our customers report to us over time, I think is more aligned with this idea of providing sustainable value rather than incentivizing providing a quick response or a quick mitigation. I think it's a little bit more about the responsibility and the scope of a team leader or manager to provide the right kind of incentives for people to be motivated to provide this kind of sustainable value.
And the support team is probably in absolute best position to provide sustainable value, because they are talking to customers every single day. And the customer is the highest authority in any business. So if you're the one that has the constant communication about products, about promises that were made in a marketing campaign, about issues that are coming up, about trends in the industry that you're playing in, and are you adapting, or what are you guys going to be doing? This is golden information to translate into the rest of the organization, starting with product development. When you talk about sustainable value, it's about understanding the industry and the customer and their needs better than anyone else.
Yep.
So we should be requiring our agents, our support teams, to be looking for how they can augment the value that we create, being that megaphone, that feedback mechanism, reflecting that into the organization.